Hello, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much to everyone who have just subscribed, and I just want to let you know that I am so happy, okay? And I'm still looking forward to have more subscribers, and I hope that you have learned and enjoyed my videos. Okay, so yes, let's just support. I believe that the reason why you clicked on this video is because you wanted to learn more about writing tips. So yes, I was once a writer. I used to write in a newspaper before, and I'm gonna share some tips to you that I find effective, and I hope that it is also effective for you. So number one, all you've got to do is to organize your ideas. So if there's a particular scene in your mind that you think that is very interesting or be the very best part of your story or the climax part, focus on that, then carefully decide on the beginning part, okay? Then of course the ending. But of course you have to insert a lot of details before it will come or reach to that point. And you must organize your ideas. How will the story unfold? How will it reach that point, and how will it end that way beautifully? Okay, so therefore you must make a draft. Number two, characterization. So therefore this is the time that is very enjoyable. So you're gonna play with your character. So what will be your protagonist? What is his or her characteristics? His or her attitude? So the tricky part that I use whenever I write stories is that I used to attach myself to the story. So there are characters of mine that I put in the character. So therefore you can see me in my protagonist or anyone in the characters of my story. So you can put your attitudes, or you can also insert your own experiences. And also you can just extract the things that are unnecessary, okay? So say for example, do not put detailed information to your character. Therefore, you should put him or her in the situation where his or her attitude will be revealed, and let the other characters of the story describe him or her. Okay, and also you can just tell the readers who she is in creative ways. Okay, so writing creatively is very important, because not everyone who read the books only wants to learn or read a beautiful story, but also they want to learn vocabulary, okay, idiomatic expressions, because they wanted to be writers too, or they wanted to use the words or expressions that they have learned from your story. Okay, so of course you must write creatively and describe your character well in the situations, or yes, in a way that you think that is very interesting to enjoy your readers. Okay. Number three, think of the first scene. So therefore you should start your story. But how will you start your story that would be very interesting to your readers? So some people use flashbacking, number one. So they're gonna recall an event in the past, and later on someone will gonna touch them or surprise them, then they'll be surprised and the story will start. Boom. Okay, so you already have an idea what happened in the past and what is she in the present. And also you can use a dream, okay, by dreaming, yes, and he or she suddenly woke up. Yes, those are the common ways. And number two, you can use another strategy that starts from the end, okay? So for example, there's a beggar, but he's very handsome and he has a lot of uh watch. Okay, it can be anything that is quite expensive. So you might be wondering, why is it he's a beggar and he has a lot of things and it's kind of expensive? You might be wondering. So therefore, in that way, the readers will be very curious about it, most especially if you have an interesting title. Okay, that would make them more curious. So you will start at the end and let the story unfold at the end. The same ending, beginning and end. Okay? So the first scene, for example, is there's a beggar in the road and he's asking for money, asking for alms. At the end of the story, the same thing. But you will know why he's a beggar when the story unfolds. Okay, so of course there still be a climax, but it's just that it seems like the beggar is recalling things in the past. Yes, those type of stories, and we can usually watch it in movies. So number 3, narrative. So simply narrate the story, but yes, write creatively. Okay, and I hope that these tips can help you. These are my personal tips, okay, and I find them very effective, and I received feedbacks from my friends as well when I was young. So some people felt afraid of my stories, they could hardly sleep. Horror stories and also love stories, I inspired them. So I hope that it has helped you. So these are the 3 ways to begin a story. But I know there's more. If there's more that you can share, you can insert it or comment down. Thank you. Number 4, think of an inspiration. Who is this story for? And how will it help them? Can it help them? Okay, so we are not only focused in helping people in learning new words, vocabulary, idiomatic expressions, but also inspiring people in the story itself. For example, you are writing for people who are stressed. So therefore, you should motivate yourself to finish your story. Because as you can see, there are lots of novels and they're very famous. And there are people that they dedicate their books for, right? And that motivation or those people are their inspiration to finish their story, not only that story, but also to write more. Number 5, the last one. So of course, you should decide on the ending, okay? You should think how will your story end and how will it end. And of course, think of the particular place where it will end, okay, romantically or in a way that is very scary. So it depends in you. Okay, so you should decide well. So just like the climax, you should also think how will your ending end beautifully, majestically. That would really give an impact to your readers. Okay, so you should think of that too. And also the very effective way to have a very wonderful or unforgettable ending is to use words that you don't usually use or the characters don't usually use. For example, a silent type of man, and suddenly at the end of the story he was very talkative, right? Okay, so those type of things, or someone who doesn't talk too much sacrificed his or her life for something, okay, and everyone did not expect it. So those things. So I have a standard in ending a story, so I hope that you're gonna learn from this. I just want to share it. So if it's a love story, so at the end of the story you should really feel in love Or if it's a tragic story, therefore you should feel sad. And if it's a horror story, you should really feel afraid. Okay, so it seems like eating a piece of cake, right? And it's the last piece of cake, so you're gonna treasure it. So you should give your best, okay, at the end of the story. And you should be more creative in writing. And for me, I cry at the end of the story because you must feel. You will know if it's a beautiful story if you feel everything. You feel the feelings of the characters and also the words. For example, you are that person, what will you say? If you are the other person, what will you say? Okay, so you must have this type of personality. You must be empathic. Okay, so you must have empathy. If you were on their shoes, what will you say or what will you do? So you must think about it well. Okay, and also do not forget characters. Okay, thank you so much, and I hope that you have learned from these tips of mine. So therefore you should feel every word and think that you are the reader. Okay, thank you so much and see you soon.